World War II reshaped everything, but royal brides still found ways to shine. Let's uncover how royalty turned wartime hardship into timeless elegance. The 1940s were a decade of contrast. While the world faced rationing, war, and loss, royal weddings offered rare moments of beauty, tradition, and hope. Gowns from this era didn't just reflect fashion, they reflected resilience. Today, we're exploring the most iconic royal wedding dresses of the 1940s, each one stitched with history. In post-war Britain, when rationing still limited even the most basic items like clothing and food, Princess Elizabeth's wedding was seen as a beacon of hope for the nation. Her wedding to Prince Philip took place at Westminster Abbey on November 20th, 1947. The event was broadcast on the radio to over 200 million people across the globe, a sign of how much symbolic weight this wedding carried. But behind the scenes, even the future queen faced rationing. She received 200 additional clothing coupons from the government, and many British women sent her theirs, although those had to be politely returned due to regulations. Her dress, designed by court couturier Sir Norman Hartnell, was nothing short of majestic. Inspired by Botticelli's painting Primavera, the gown was a symbol of rebirth, peace, and prosperity, exactly what post-war Britain longed for. The gown was made from ivory Duchess satin, woven from Chinese silk by Scottish manufacturers. It was embroidered with 10,000 seed pearls, silver thread, and crystals, forming elaborate motifs of jasmine, wheat, and star flowers, symbolizing fertility and growth. The 13-foot-long train was also symbolic. Embroidered with the floral emblems of the United Kingdom, it reflected the princess's role as a unifying national figure. The entire dress took 350 women 7 weeks to complete. She wore the Queen Mary fringe tiara, made from a dismantled necklace of Queen Victoria, which broke just before the ceremony and had to be hastily repaired by the royal jeweler. This wasn't just a fashion moment, it was a deeply political and emotional event, blending glamour with the hardships of a war-torn nation. Although her wedding took place just before the 1940s, Queen Frederica's marriage to Crown Prince Paul of Greece in January 1938 set the tone for royal bridal fashion entering the war era. Frederica was born a German princess, granddaughter of both Kaiser Wilhelm II and Queen Victoria of the UK, making her deeply tied to both European and British royalty. Her wedding, held in Athens, was one of the last grand European royal events before World War II began. Her dress reflected a blend of pre-war luxury and classical Grecian elegance. It was a simple, floor-length gown made of satin with long sleeves and a modest neckline, reflecting royal decorum rather than flamboyance. The gown featured a long train embroidered with traditional Greek motifs, a nod to her new national identity. Frederica also wore a delicate lace veil, held in place by a sparkling tiara from the Greek royal collection, the myrtle wreath tiara, which would later be worn by Greek royal brides for decades. The symbolism was powerful. A German princess marrying into the Greek monarchy in a moment of increasing European instability. Many viewed the wedding as a moment of peace, unity, and hope, even as storm clouds gathered over the continent. Frederica's style influenced other royal brides of the era, proving that understated elegance could still feel regal in times of uncertainty. The 1940s were marked not just by war, but also by the collapse of many European monarchies. For the royal families of Yugoslavia and Romania, weddings became deeply emotional, personal joys held against a backdrop of national exile and political upheaval. Princess Alexandra of Greece and King Peter II of Yugoslavia. 1944, their wedding took place in exile in London during World War II. Alexandra, the daughter of King Alexander of Greece, had fled the Nazi occupation of her country. Peter II, the last king of Yugoslavia, was only 21 when he married her, his country also under occupation. Alexandra's dress was modest but graceful, a satin gown with long sleeves, an A-line silhouette, and a lace veil, borrowed from relatives. The wedding was small, attended by a few royals and dignitaries, yet the symbolism was enormous, a uniting of two displaced royal houses. She wore the Yugoslavian royal diamond tiara, a rare surviving heirloom that had made it out of the war. Her expression in wedding photos tells the story, joy tempered by loss. Princess Ileana of Romania and Archduke Anton of Austria, 1931, but exiled in 1940s. Although married before the war, Princess Ileana of Romania's life as a royal bride came full circle in the 1940s, when she and her husband were forced into exile after King Michael's abdication in 1947. Her wedding dress was classic interwar royal style, a full-length white gown with intricate embroidery, paired with a Romanian royal veil handed down from Queen Marie. In exile, Ileana wore that same veil during religious events and later gave it to her daughter. Her story represents how even royal wedding garments became part of diasporic identity and memory for displaced monarchs. Even in war, royal elegance didn't vanish. It adapted. Which 1940s royal bride inspired you most? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more royal fashion stories from history's most unforgettable eras.